Money in the Bank has came and gone, and it's time once again to try and predict who is going to be the next of every single current WWE champion. And as usual, before we get into the video, hey, if you like wrestling content, why don't you go on ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Peep your boy over on the Twitch. We're trying to make our way to 300 followers over there. And on top of that, hey, don't forget to subscribe over here as well. Trying to see if we can get 100 by the time we reach Survivor Series. And hey, let's get into the video. Starting us off, we have the World Tag Team Champions for the Women's Division. And I'll be real, these have kind of fallen off ever since Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair lost them. And as I said, should have kept them on Jade and Bianca. But alas, Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, if I were to make a guess as to who is going to take the titles off of them, I'd have to wonder and say the latest addition to Monday Night Raw, the faction of Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Starks. I feel like they're going to go ahead, win the titles, probably Shayna and Zoe as a tag team. And hopefully we keep the momentum that Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair had, pick it back up and keep it going for the women's tag team titles, because unfortunately with Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, the titles went from being on the pay-per-view to not. And I can tell you the same is probably going to be the case if we were to go on and continue this reign for SummerSlam and beyond. Sadly, that kind of feels like the reality we are in. And it's not on Alba Fyre or Isla Dawn, it's not on the champions. But yeah, in terms of the next champions, I see it 100%. Maybe not 100%, but most likely being Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I'll be real, the tag team division on SmackDown doesn't feel as notable as it used to be. So it becomes harder and harder to think of teams to take the titles off of DIY. Grayson Waller and Austin 3 most likely are going to be breaking up before we even reach SummerSlam. DIY probably not losing those titles anytime soon, at least that I can think off the top of my head. But if I were to say anyone, I'd have to wander a guess and say perhaps the Bloodline will be the ones to take the titles off of them, specifically Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. But again, I really cannot think of that many tag teams in the men's division over on SmackDown. So maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong. Why don't you go ahead and comment down below who you think is going to take the titles off of DIY, as well as the rest of the champions. Back into the video. Finn Balor and JD McDonough winning the tag titles off of the Awesome Truth with aid of Liv Morgan. There's two options I could see us going for. Either option A, it being Alpha Academy, or the Creed Brothers. And you know what? I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards the Creed Brothers. Let's you go ahead and have an Alpha Academy Creed Brothers rivalry, and perhaps the Creed Brothers lose it to Alpha Academy with aid of the Wyatt Six. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Wyatt Six themselves, but I'm gonna wedge my bets on the Creed Brothers. Liv Morgan and the World Championship is a simple answer. It's gonna be Rhea Ripley, especially since Rhea Ripley returned on yesterday's Monday Night Raw. It is most likely going to be the Eradicator. But is it going to happen at SummerSlam though? With how Triple H books things, I do not see it being at SummerSlam. So I am predicting it will be Rhea Ripley, but I don't see it 100% happen until around WrestleMania. I can see at SummerSlam they have their first match, and Rhea Ripley gets screwed out of the title by Dirty Dom. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna be Rhea who takes the title off of Liv. I'm kind of feeling a little let down with this championship reign, but Bayley on the Women's Undisputed Championship, let's be real, it's Nia's time. And you know what? I can see it being Nia Jax, and then after her, it'll be Tiffany Stratton. Or maybe, I wouldn't mind if we did the WrestleMania cash-in and say Charlotte Flair comes back, gets into the title picture. Regardless, I'm going to say it's Nia Jax as the next champion. But perhaps it leads to Nia versus Charlotte versus Bayley. Tiffy cashes in and takes the title for herself. Yes, it's a little bit of fantasy booking, but you know what? Regardless, again, it's going to be Nia. TLDR, Logan Paul is losing that title to LA Knight. Yeah, that being said, I'm kind of sad that we didn't get the chance to see Logan Paul versus John Cena for the US title. But just like how I would say with Roman Reigns and his championship run, it should have happened already. Hey, no point in extending this championship reign but so much further. Should have happened already. It's gonna be LA Knight at SummerSlam. Yeah. While Braun Breaker lost to Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank, I still see Braun Breaker being the one to ultimately take that title off of Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Maybe it'll be a multi-man match involving Ilya Dragunov. Maybe it'll be a 5-way. Maybe it'll be even a 6-way. But sooner or later, I see it being Braun Breaker that takes the title off of Sami Zayn. Thought it would be Drew, wasn't Drew. Thought it would be Seth, wasn't Seth. I'm going to boldly, and you might say this is not bold, but let's be honest with ourselves here. There is all the potential in the world, especially with how they've been presenting Gunther lately. There's no guarantee that it will be the Ring General that take that title off of Damian Priest. But you know what? It feels like the safe option, and I can't think of anyone else at the moment. So I'm gonna still just go ahead and say Gunther takes the title off of Priest at SummerSlam. But at the same time, there's all the chance in the world that does not happen. And Cody Rhodes, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm feeling more and more likely that it will be The Rock that takes that title off of Cody. I kind of don't want it. I really don't want it. But I could see Cody losing the title and then getting it back at next year's WrestleMania. Some of these championship reigns have been going pretty well, like with Liv Morgan. Some of them have been absolutely floundering, like Logan Paul. So maybe I'll be right on each and every single one of these. Maybe I'll be dead wrong with these. But hey, feel free to comment down below who do you think is going to go ahead and win every single current title in the WWE. And if you're watching this in the future, let me know if I was right with any of these. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, see ya.